Hey everybody, it's Daniel coming to you from Screenly. Today we have a exciting tutorial. We are going to show you how to use the popular tool Dropbox in conjunction with the Screenly Zapier integration to show custom content on your signs. So the use case here, if there are users who are less technically confident, and they might not feel comfortable using a digital signage management interface, an IT team can set up Screenly and then set up this integration, and so they can tell this other user, hey, listen, just drop the files into this Dropbox file and you're good to go. That's all you need to do. So using this integration, it can keep your digital signage workflows super simple, and that allows you to get a lot more participants in an organization's digital signage strategy. So let's show how we do it. First, we're going to start off in the Screenly interface. If you don't have an account, you can get a 30-day free trial with no credit card required. Go to the Screens tab on the left-hand side, then click Add Screen. You can add two types of screens, one with a physical digital signage player, a Screenly player, or a Screenly Player Max. You can check out the options on our website. But for this demo, we're going to use a Screenly Anywhere screen, which is our screen type that allows you to use any existing hardware you have, including your laptop or desktop. Any type of hardware that can display a modern web browser, you can use as your screen. So how we'll do this is we will click on anywhere.screenly.io. We're going to enter this pairing code. So let's put that here, QUBE, and then JAE7, JAE7. That the pairing code will be different for the one you have, so they're unique to each screen. We're going to give the screen a name, test screen, and then we're going to click Add. Okay, it takes a second here, just loading, and we'll have our screen paired to our account. Okay, there you go. We can then see it here, test screen. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a playlist. So this is the default playlist, play on all screens. We're going to create another one called test playlists. And then how it works in Screenly is there is content, and then you assign content to a playlist, and then you assign screens to these playlists. So right now we're going to add the test screen to this playlist so that any content on this playlist gets displayed on this test screen that we have set up. Right now the screen is just black because of course we don't have any content, and this content is going to come from Dropbox and then get ported into Screenly through the Zapier integration. So I hope it's all making a little bit of sense now, but of course we're going to show all the steps momentarily. So we're going to save this test playlist here. So the next thing to do is to go into Zapier. Actually, let's go into Dropbox first. So within Dropbox, you can either create a file, a folder, or use an existing one, but there should be a folder where you intend to put the content that will be on your screen. So I made screen files here and uploaded a demo asset for a bank, if it was a bank using digital signage. So once that's set up inside of Dropbox, you can then go into Zapier. Zapier has a ton of different pricing tiers. You can get started with a free account with them also. On the top left-hand side, click Create, and then click Zaps. Okay, and now we need to set a trigger. So trigger is going to be when a new file gets added to the Dropbox folder that we're using. So we're going to click on Trigger here. If Dropbox doesn't show up, you can just search it. Okay, Dropbox, here we go. Okay, and so the trigger event is going to be a new file in a folder, and then you have to connect your Dropbox account. Mine's already connected here, but if you just click Connect a New Account, you'll see that it's just a pop-up window that will ask you to authenticate. So, okay, so once that's all set, go to Continue, and it's going to have a few different options here. You have to select the default space. If you have different, what Dropbox called spaces, you can select the appropriate one. That will then allow you to select the proper folder within that designated space. So as we said before, we have screen files. Dropbox also allows you to do different subfolders as well, but we don't need to do that for this demo. So false here, include file contents, yes. Include sharing links, you can select yes, but it doesn't totally matter at this point. And so that's it. So then you click the purple continue button, and what we're going to do is we're going to test the trigger to make sure that it's able to pull that data from Dropbox. Okay, testing, yep. Okay, so we get that file. It has all the data here. Great. So essentially what we just said is, okay, we're going to run this Zapier workflow when somebody adds a new file to this Dropbox folder. So the next thing we need to decide is, okay, so what's the action? So we want, when this workflow triggers, we want an action to occur within Screenly. And that action is going to be, we want that file from Dropbox to populate in our designated playlist. So we're going to click action here. And then we're going to type in Screenly at the top. We're going to click Screenly here. Okay, so the event here, what we're going to click is complete workflow because there's a few steps involved. And then for the account, so my account here is already linked, but when you are going to need to get an API token key. So in order to do that, you go to your Screenly account and then click Settings. And within the Settings submenu, click Security. And then you'll see tokens and click the show button on the right. And then what you'll do is you'll type in a name for the token. You can see I've been playing around in Zapier here. So just type in Zapier or whatever you want to call it, and then click add. And then what will happen is a pop-up modal will show with your secret token key. So what you'll do is you'll then copy that and then you'll paste it in the authentication pop-up modal inside of Zapier. And that will allow you to link your Screenly account. So once that's done, click continue at the bottom. Okay, I think it's thinking about my authentication right now. Okay, sorted. And so in the configure here, a configure step. So what we're going to do is the file URL. Again, this is coming from Dropbox, right? So you select file here, and then for the asset title, you're going to select file name. And then you can also indicate the seconds that you want the asset to display when it appears on your screen. We're going to change that to 30 seconds. You can change it to whatever is appropriate for your use case. And then we're going to select an existing playlist, this test playlist that we just created. If you have another playlist, you can select that instead. And then for the screen, we of course want to select the screen that we want the content to display on. So once that's all set, we click continue, and then we can test the step to just make sure that it all goes through. And it's running now. So just waiting for it to load. Okay, great. Got the green check mark. So as far as Zapier is concerned, it all went through correctly, but let's double check here within the Screenly account. So let's go to our playlist, our test playlist. We populated that content inside, and you can see that it worked successfully, so that's great. So you see the content here, you see the preview here. Now, this playlist plays on the test screen, so we'd also expect that this content would show on the screen. Now, it might take a minute or two to actually show up, so don't be alarmed if you don't see it immediately. But you can see here that the content is in queue to display on this screen. So, and actually here you have it already. The content is displaying for 30 seconds. And if you have multiple pieces that are added, it would then of course cycle through. So that's it. So, we showed a really interesting workflow where all the user will have to do is drag and drop, and then it gets populated into their Screenly account and then plays on their screen. And after a successful test, you want to really make sure to not forget the last and probably most important step, which is to click publish, because without that, you're only allowed to do test runs. Once it's published, it will actually go live, so that when a file is dropped in this Dropbox folder, it actually triggers this workflow and it runs through everything. So, okay, so that's it. We'll continue doing these tutorials. There's a lot of room and for creativity with the Screenly Zapier integration. And we look forward to bringing you more videos like this in the future. Thank you.